What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to go over something a lot of people have been asking about, and that is how to use the Inosuke Cheese properly in Gate of the Void in Realms Gate to push extremely high corruption levels. So I have a nice clip here at the end we'll show you after we go over how you kind of set up your team. It's a good clip to show you what can be done with just a level 1 hero. Of course, it does require a very specific setup, but we are going to go over it. We're going to show it to you. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, but let's jump right into the setup. So let's jump into the heroes required for this setup to work to cheese out and get the maximum void corruption that you can in Realms Gate. Number one is definitely going to be this Inosuke. So there's a big difference here, and we're going to show you. You need to have a level 1 6-star Inosuke. So level 5 will not work. We will show you the difference in the skills. Level 5, the active is just a little bit weaker. It works slightly different. The shield is not going to be as strong. I believe 6-star is required so that the shield is going to be stronger. It's what I've seen. It's always been a 6-star, level 1, nothing else. So the whole goal here is to make sure Inosuke has next to no health. So you don't want to be giving him HP buffs anywhere. What you can do though is still give him his weapon and his accessory slot, because you get absolutely no HP whatsoever on either one of these. The other thing that is required is going to be an upgraded Magic Stone sword. Now, I don't know necessarily if a glittery works. I think a radiant will work, and I know a splendid one works. This is something that has been talked about a lot, but I would not heavily invest into these. For the long term, it's more of a short-term goal, because we'll talk about a few things later on that are going to start affecting your hero's HPs, and once that happens, this no longer works. Of course, skin, all that doesn't really matter. If you want to use a skin, it's perfectly fine. It's more attack, damage reduction, control, immunity. All those are great for what we're doing, but you don't need it. So that is the Inosuke setup there. There's one other hero that is very important to this, and this is going to be an Ignis. Doesn't really matter if it's 10-star or E5, anywhere in between will work. Actually, now that I think about it, I believe even a 9-star will work. Let me just check and double check here. So no, I guess it does need to be 10-star, I believe, for Eternity of the Dragon Soul. Either that or 9-star. No, 9-star should be the upgrade to Eternity of Dragon Soul, I believe. Don't quote me on that. This brain doesn't always work perfectly. But I believe a 9-star can work. I do know a 10-star will work, though, because the last and most important thing about this is that Eternity of Dragon Soul. So when Ignis dies, she will heal the nearest ally hero to 100% max HP. That part doesn't matter. Increased ally 100 energy, that can be good, but the main part here is going to be 100% control immunity. You need this 100% control immunity because in the fight with these puppets, they have ridiculous, crazy amount of crowd control, and it doesn't work against every puppet wave. There are some puppet waves that hit many times and the Inosuke just can't live, but the good majority of the puppet waves this will work on. This 100% control immunity is very important. So whether you have a 10-star, maybe a 9-star, you just got to check to see if your 9-star has this, and I cannot remember if they do or not. But if they have that part, it's really great. The other thing is you need to make sure you get this active off to give energy to Inosuke in round 1. So you do need an energy artifact on her. And the other thing I like running is Balance Strike as the E5 enable. Essentially, you want her to die as soon as possible to give Inosuke this 100% control immunity that he can break free of all those CCs and then start fighting round after round. You'll see the clip here in a minute. It's about like a 3-minute clip. You can see the whole fight. It goes like 58 rounds. There's a ton of stuff going on, but there are a couple other things we need to discuss. So that is pretty much the setup. Honestly, you can take everything else off this hero just so she dies immediately after using the the active. I leave the gear on so she does live a little bit, but definitely use Balance Strike to make sure she doesn't take extra hits. If she is E5, if she's anywhere else lower than E5, you don't have to worry about it, but she will die off very, very quickly. Next part is when you go into combat, you are not going to pick any pet. Why? Because these pets give they give bonuses to HP, they give static bonuses to HP. You do not want to be giving your Inosuke any HP bonuses. So do not use a pet when you jump into combat. The other thing is why I say this is a very temporary setup. And that is because star spawns are eventually going to be giving you fixed HP and you cannot turn them off. So if you already have a level 20 star spawn spirit, chances are you cannot use this method. But if you're like me and you still have a level 1, you can use this method to get all the way up to Void Corruption 100. Now the clip you see, I'm only at 43 because I only just recently started doing it. And of course, for the recording, I kind of screwed it up because there's a couple things you need to know about leveling up your Void Corruption. So, essentially what you need to do is make sure you use this on the very last tile here on the puppet boss. When you do it, it will then give you the next corruption up. I was at 43. We went in, we fought the puppet here. You'll see it in a second. And we do go up to 44. You can continue to do this all the way up to 100. You don't have to clear a single other fight on that difficulty. Only that last puppet. So sadly, I can't show you the puppet in this one just because we've already killed it and recorded it. But yeah, essentially the puppet's right here. I will jump into this one to show you my team setup. Again, no monsters active. You do not want a monster for this setup whatsoever. And there is something you do need to do. I do like putting some fodder in the front row just to absorb some hits to make sure he gets it off. But what you do need is this Inosuke right here in slot 5 is the best spot I've seen, and then put Ignis in slot 6. That way all of her energy in round 1, when she uses her active, she'll feed the energy to the Inosuke. When she dies, hopefully in round 1, 2, or 3, she will give that control immunity to Inosuke as well. And Inosuke with the Magic Stone Sword will essentially live forever and deal ridiculous numbers of damage. This fight goes on for like 60-ish rounds, maybe slightly under that, but it's really close. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Definitely check it out. We'll speed it up here a little bit if we need to, but I think it's like a 3-minute fight. It's kind of cool to watch. I recommend you guys watch the whole thing and see how it progresses, and hopefully this helps you out. But again, remember, if you already have a star spawn going, you cannot do this method. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time with more guides and info on the Vortex.